Hey guys, what's up? It's Michael here, and today we are gonna talk about what is go-to-market engineering, how everything started, how to become an I-paid go-to-market engineer, and basically my story on how basically I get into go-to-market engineering, the tips and tricks that took me years to actually realize, and how to get clients, how to get into this movement. And how to actually live this kind of life and what are his benefits, basically. Okay, so let's dive into it and let's start with saying what is a go-to-market engineer, because there's a lot of confusion, especially on LinkedIn. Everybody has a different opinion, and 99% of people, as you always are, of course, wrong. So let's try to be clear. And everything started with clay.com. Clay.com basically it's one of the probably most important B2B tech uh, startup in the world in 2025. I think it's something that only happen every 5 to 10 days in the marketing and sales world. Last time it happened was with HubSpot. Last previous time again was probably Salesforce, and it is something that happened and completely changed the way in which people are doing sales and marketing. Salesforce was the CRM revolution. Actually, the cloud CRM revolution, but I don't want to get technical. HubSpot was the inbound revolution. And with HubSpot, the role of the RevOps guy was born, and the inbound closer was actually born. It wasn't a thing before HubSpot. HubSpot invented inbound marketing. Okay? Clay invented go-to-market engineering. And basically, Clay is a sales operation platform where you can actually source any kind of data point, manipulate this data, and actually have an output. Okay? The guy or the girl that use Clay and a series of AI tools to actually make revenue operations, outbound processes, inbound processes, let's call them go-to-market processes, it's called go-to-market engineer. Okay? Clay did like from 100 mil in ARR in just 1 year, from 1 mil to 100 mil in 1 year, which is crazy. And we are the go-to-market engineering company. Okay? And this is what a go-to-market engineer is. Is not someone who sends cold emails. It just cold emails and outbound is just a subset of what go-to-market engineering is. I have project, I'm working with companies where we don't send cold emails at all. Okay? A go-to-market engineer is someone who can actually orchestrate these B2B tools and extract more revenue per employee. Okay? Can work on outbound processes. For example, let's say that let's try to bring practical cases from real clients. A client of mine was selling a WhatsApp solution for e-commerces to improve reviews. I used Clay and a series of other tools to actually scrape all the e-commerces in the world and find if they have less than 4 out of 5 reviews, and if so, to actually send a very precise cold email saying, I noticed that your review is blah, 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 like 4 out of 5, you're losing X% of conversion rate. Maybe you need our solution, okay? So in this way, basically, we were able to programmatically send value at scale, scraping problems, which is the holy grail of sales, if you think about it, right? But I don't know, another client, for example, construction industry, had like a very big Salesforce database, and he really wanted to actually score and enrich all these variables so that AEs can actually be more efficient, so that they do not lose time in cherry picking leads from the CRM, so that they do not lose time in, I don't know, finding the missing mobile phone number, etc., etc. Okay? So it really depends. You have many use cases. Okay? And for context, go-to-market engineering is a huge trend. Okay? If you check, it's full of go-to-market engineering open roles. This is just LinkedIn, the one that you see here. I just put go-to-market engineers and jobs, United States, okay? And they are very high paying, okay? All of them are like 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, and so on. So it's pretty cool, actually, right? And there are not a lot of go-to-market engineers out there, okay? If you write go-to-market engineers, you put location wherever, there are not a lot. And from these guys, basically, most of them are juniors or very low level, so it's very easy to actually have an edge and close your own clients. Clay is becoming very big, okay? It's generating demand. Everybody wants a go-to-market engineer. The supply is very low, okay? The supply is very low, or is very junior, or like very technical people cannot sell them. So there's a huge opportunity in the market. If you are a fractional whatever guy, instead of going with your own personalized, unique positioning that nobody really wants, you can learn Clay, you can apply your sales marketing skills on Clay, and it's 10x easier to actually land clients because you're selling in a hot category. Nobody wants your fractional marketing, sales revenue, whatever implementations, okay? They want something that is already hot, okay? I learned it the hard way, okay? I tried for many times selling my own fractional whatever or agency whatever, and now I found something that is really working, okay? So, secondly, my story, okay? 2021 or maybe end of 2021, I don't remember. I was working in an Italian company, Italian startup. I was working like 80 hours per week trying to impress my boss, okay? And I was promised whatever, money, equity, fame, whatever. And the startup bankrupted, actually. And there, I learned a very important lesson, which is first, for most employees, especially if you're in marketing and sales, sooner or later, you will get triggered, okay? So I strongly suggest to actually go on your own and sell your own offering. If you're good at marketing, find an offer that is hot, and sell your offer, market your offer. It's 100 times easier going this way, okay? I'm more satisfying, of course, and you make more money, of course, okay? In 2022, I left my startup and I launched it was like a cold email outbound agency, very small, actually. I started from the really beginning. It was my first entrepreneur experience, so I made all the errors that are possible in the world, basically. And it was very hard at the beginning. I'm not lying, but this is for everybody. It's tough at the beginning, right? And but somehow I was able to actually get my first client, then bigger clients, then blah 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 blah. I started working a little bit. 2023, I figured out about Clay. Yeah, maybe I knew about Clay in 2022. I don't remember actually, but I remember that in 2023, like mid 2023, I went all in on Clay because basically I figured out that when I was posting about Clay, I had like so much attention, even organically. When people were like, "Oh, but you implement even Clay," and I noticed that there was something there. So I just went all in. I rebranded my profile in go-to-market engineering. I built a newsletter about it. So I started running a lot of different things. This YouTube channel, for example, and it worked. It really worked. It was and it is a very growing market, and I was really able to actually get a lot of clients. First, with my own whatever positioning, it was difficult. And then I get to a point where I remember that I got inbound leads from like crazy companies, like companies that everybody knows, like enterprise companies, super, super famous scale ups, and even super famous personalities in the marketing and sales space. Hyper big on YouTube, okay? I cannot really say who they are because some of them are even my friends now, but it was pretty cool, right? And I was the same guy, okay? I didn't become a genius in 1 year, okay? Yeah, I got better like everybody if you work on yourself, but it was amazing actually. So basically there was something there in 2024. I actually made 10x more money, more profit actually than when I was employed. So 10x is a lot if you think about it. And 2025, yeah, I did even more. I started running even a training program for go-to-market engineers, where you have all the information in the description. And yeah, now it's way better. Okay, this is how my story worked basically. And now basically I do half of consulting for usually mid-market and big companies like Vidyard, Teramind, HeyReach, Carepay, Single Grain, and many more. Okay, if you check them, they are pretty famous scale-ups and even enterprises. Okay, $1 billion plus companies, some of them, some 9 figures, some 8 figures. That's my ICP. And the other 50% I run a training program for go-to-market engineers, both for the one that want to build an agency, both B2B. Okay, and how can you work as a go-to-market engineer? How can you become a go-to-market engineer? Sorry, my crappy English sometime. I'm Italian, so my English is not perfect all the time. So as you can hear, I'm trying my best. I'm getting like lessons, but it's hard, okay? And basically, the people I coach, they become go-to-market engineers. They basically get paid, employ themselves in 3 different ways. The first is they work full time in an agency, like a clay agency, like a go to market agency. A lot are friends of mine, these agencies. So you have like very close connections with these people. They work full time in a big company, like you've seen here, for example. And even with like very high salaries, like super high salaries, which is cool. Or they start their own business, or they do a mix of these. Okay. If you check this profile, there's a lot of learning material about clay. I really suggest even just consuming the content and replicating it on clay.com. Do not just watch these videos, okay, especially the tutorials. Replicate them because you get better and better. Then you have something to post. Maybe tag them, tag me on social media. But you have something to post so people in your network will start seeing that you're working on clients. Even from this, I have people getting clients or at least opportunities. Okay. How to become a go to market engineer. And first, what I just said, start doing things in practice. Buy a Clay account, copy the things. You have to do the things. It makes no sense to actually watch videos or consume LinkedIn. You do not get smarter. You have the feeling that you're getting smarter. You're just getting dumber because 99% of what people talk about is false or misleading. Okay? So do the things. When you do the things, you're learning. Okay? Automatic. Create a good portfolio and start documenting your journey on LinkedIn. Okay, like I am doing. I'm talking about my story. I'm talking about check my content on LinkedIn. It's really about my story. I try to put my story out there, my personality, plus the things that I'm doing and the problems I'm solving for clients. I'm super passionate about that. So I like content in general, even if it's exhausting. I really like to do it. And you need to figure out good offers. It must be easy at the beginning to work with you. Okay. And from there, basically, I suggest to get better and better clients. There are two ways. So usually people or they productize a service like a paper lead agency. I have a student who now runs almost 1 million in revenue agency doing a productized service, basically paper meeting. And or you start working with few clients and then you raise prices, you get better deal flow, you raise prices again, so you can scale with more clients, very low prices, so you get scale and you get profits when everything is at scale, or you keep raising prices. Okay, there's not a better way, but you can try both and then you figure out what you prefer. Okay. And guys, this is how it works. This is my story, how I got into go-to-market engineering. And good news is that we have now a new offer where you become a clay consultant in a 90, and you close a client in 60 days or money back, basically, because it worked for over 100 people, and now I was really able to actually build relationships with agencies and companies, so I can interview people, I can really hack your go-to-market engineering career, okay? So that you can work one-on-one with me, I can interview clients, I show you a system to get clients, and everything usually clicks very fast if you actually do the things, okay? If you're lazy, this is not for you because, as you can see, I put a lot of work out there. You actually have to put the work, okay? Yeah, it is rewarding, it is powerful, it is hot, but it has a learning curve, okay? Guys, thanks so much and see you in the next video.